What up, this is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Netflix's new animated movie, The Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button and ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Let's rock this. Allow me to give you some of my context first. I've never read the Witcher books. I've never played the Witcher video games. I've never watched the previous adaptation. I think it's called The Hexer. So my knowledge of all things Witcher are limited to just the Netflix show starring Henry Cavill. I never heard of the name Vesemir either until this new animated movie shows up. But I'm glad that Netflix is capitalizing on this mythology and expanding it, because whether or not the world of Witcher can fill the void that Game of Thrones left behind, it is nonetheless still a world full of danger and wonders and dark, gritty thrills for us to explore. The Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf, is a prequel that's gruesome and ferocious and unforgiving, and it's no holds barred. Definitely not a film for audiences who may have certain reservation about graphic violence. But if you like Castlevania, for example, then The Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf is your cup of tea. The drama of how Vesemir comes to be is very dark and heavy, but the action in the third act is massive, relentless, well executed, and heartbreaking. This is a deeply satisfying movie overall, one that even non-Witcher fans can truly appreciate. Written by Bo DeMaio and directed by Kwang Il-han, the world of The Witcher expands in this anime origin story. Before Geralt, there was his mentor Vesemir, a swashbuckling young Witcher who escaped a life of poverty to slay monsters for coin. But when a strange new monster begins terrorizing a politically fraught kingdom, Vesemir finds himself on a frightening adventure that forces him to confront the demons of his past. Voice starring Theo James, Lara Pulver, Graham McTavish, and Oscar nominee Mary McDonnell. Now, we're gonna see the live-action Vesemir, played by actor Kim Botnia, on The Witcher Season 2. So consider this animated movie a tease, if you will, on what it is that drives this character. Again, I've never read the books, but this film's depiction of how the kids were trained early on, and that not many of them survive, paints a picture of shocking cruelty, which goes to show that becoming a Witcher is an honor only for selected few. Right from the very first scenes, the tone is set that you are in for a film where vulnerable, marginalized young children often get the short end of the stick. Vesemir sees the life of a Witcher as an escape from his years of servitude, but little does he know that what he signs up for is grueling and torturous. Sure, eventually glory and adoration accompany him with every monster he kills, but his upbringing through that painful experience and the friends abandoned and died along the way continue to haunt him. The Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf is also part conspiracy thriller, which I'm not allowed to divulge in details here. But just know that it's a collision between a long-held tradition and those who wish to put that tradition and everybody involved with it to a bloody end. Screenwriter Bo DeMaio is very methodical in releasing the information bit by bit. The pacing doesn't overwhelm either, even as the story constantly goes back and forth. The animation is done by none other than the world-famous Studio Mir, which previously gave you such gems as Voltron Legendary Defender, Dota Dragon's Blood, Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts. The animation quality on The Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf is stunning and visceral, especially the merciless fights. There's something hypnotic about the brutality of it all, with every wielded blade and every pyrokinetic burst. Funny I mentioned Castlevania earlier, because actor Theo James, who voices Vesemir, previously voiced Hector on Castlevania. But there's a striking difference with his approach this time around, which is totally understandable because Hector was mostly subdued and bleak, whereas Vesemir is a bit cynical and a bit cocky. He's the kind of person who generally lets tomorrow worry about itself. But when he's on the hunt, he takes his job seriously. So you can sense that there's a level of unleashed pleasure and delight and creative freedom in the way that Theo James inhabits this character. So I'll end on this. The Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf is an outstanding companion piece. It gives you a better understanding of what it means for a Witcher to do what he does. And it definitely gets you extra super stoked for whatever comes next in this badass, spellbinding medieval fantasy franchise.